Hello my mince pies, welcome to this video. I hope you're doing so well. It has been like a hot minute since I've posted a video, so I thought that just to get back onto things and like the studying productivity sort of like videos, I would do this one, which is essentially what I'm trying to do this holiday to get back on track, because I feel like the past month maybe I've sort of dropped off a little bit of my habits and like optimal lifestyle sort of things. So this is what I'm doing this holiday to catch up and get ahead in uni, but this is completely applicable to like GCSEs, A level, and just like any sort of age, any sort of like year in your like academic journey. So starting off with like the basics, I guess, because you need your solid foundation if you want to be able to support the structure of like everything else that you're doing and like adding onto your life. So we've got to have sleep schedule, of course. We've got to have drinking enough water and like good liquids. I have been obsessed with black tea recently because I got this is genuinely the best thing I've ever bought, the Winter Advent calendar. Like when I was FaceTiming my boyfriend and showing him this, he said that I was like, the smile I had on my face was the biggest smile he's ever seen me have, which is really funny to me. But yeah, tea advent calendar. I'm actually drinking one of them now. I think it's, oh, it doesn't have tags, it's a shame. But I think this is the Tippy Assam tea. It's really nice. Anyway, drinking enough liquids, and then of course like you can like catch up on lessons that you've missed. I know I need to catch up on lectures that I've missed and like watching videos or trying to understand things that didn't really make sense, like they were taught too quickly, or the way that they were taught in class was just not the way that you would sort of like learn. Again, I need to do that with some of my biology practicals. Of course, exercising as well. And I think what is so important that I really want to get across is, if you really want to start a habit and you know that you want to implement it a lot more and like lock in on it next year, start it now, because that will massively reduce the friction of starting in the new year, and it will reduce the likelihood of you dropping off like after January or something if you can start earlier the year before, as in now. So I would really recommend getting into like exercising, whether that be going to the gym, doing a sport like badminton, yoga, swimming, whatever, just as long as you're moving, exercising your body. Also, I would really recommend reading a book. So, and specifically reading a book for enjoyment, because I think nowadays so many people have like stopped reading. Like there are so many people who have not read a book since like year 10, year 11, or like they haven't read a book since like year 6, you know, which is crazy. So please read a book that you will enjoy. I can give you many recommendations if you want. I don't think TikTok is that bad of a place to start if you haven't read in years. Like starting off with something that's like fast-paced, light-hearted to get you in, rather than starting off with like flipping War and Peace, you know, like some Dostoevsky. Actually, White Nights is pretty accessible, but you know, like some like hefty Russian literature. So read a book for fun, engage with it, you know, like let's be literate, guys. Let's enjoy printed media. I have not read that many books this year, which is genuinely really sad and also really shocking. Like I've only read 15 books this year, which is low-key genuinely horrific when I think about it, and not a single classic either, which is also kind of crazy. So this year was not my year in terms of reading, but next year I think, yeah, next year I'm going to make it more of a regular habit, because I'm the sort of reader where I finish a book in like 3 days. Like I dedicate those days to the book, I finish it and then I like move on, rather than like reading 10 pages a day sort of thing. Anyway, also doing a digital detox. So this is the end of the year now, perfect time to be doing this. So we can think about like organization online and also in real life. So in terms of like sorting out your folders with different notes and just like print stuff from school, sort that out, of course, make it organized, have like a filing system, have like sticky tabs for each topic, color coordinating, whatever, alphabetical order. but also digital detox is so underrated. So going through your pictures and your videos, delete all the emails that you haven't opened because it's probably just junk and it's just taking up space, and backing up pictures to like your laptop or to like the cloud. But I don't know, I don't really trust like the iCloud and stuff. I don't know why. So I back mine up to the laptop and then I delete. Oh wait, I post on my spam Instagram and then I delete from my phone. So you can try that. Also updating your LinkedIn if you're in like year 12 onwards, I would say. Not like for the sake of being hashtag open to work or anything like that. I'm sorry, those banners are so goofy. Like, bro, the day that you see me with hashtag open to work, you know that it's going to be dire in the environmental like industry. When I have that open to work banner, there's going to be no jobs out there because that is like last resort. I think LinkedIn is quite good in terms of like connections, yes, but also it helps you just sort of remember things that you've done, especially if you're logging extracurriculars and stuff like essay competitions you've done or work experience, things like that. I need to update my LinkedIn. There was a girl from my old school actually who was in my biology. We didn't talk that much, but she randomly messaged me yesterday saying update your LinkedIn because it still says that I'm an A-level student at my old school and I still have aspiring biologist in my profile, which is kind of frying me and GL. Aspiring biologist. But yeah, so update your LinkedIn, update any other sort of like profiles I guess that you have, and do a vision board. I would really recommend vision boards. I made a vision board and I manifested like some of the stuff on there, but I think because I just stopped looking at it regularly after like 3 months, I kind of just like dropped off. So that is another habit that I want to really get into. And then I saw this today actually, that's this habit tracker where essentially you write down your habits and then each day you do a cross if you've done it. And I feel like the act of being able to like cross something off in a physical notebook with pen and paper would really like motivate you and keep you like on track to do it. So that is a habit that I'm going to try and implement for 2026. And using a vision board is so useful because it helps you to visualize like what life you want. It makes you certain, and by putting those ideas into your head, that allows your brain to be thinking and almost like looking for opportunities better. Say for example, if you have like perfect grades on your vision board, and if you are looking at that every single morning or every single day, your brain is like, okay, we need to be doing things to get to that, you know, and then it will start like directing you on that journey more, or keeping you on that path more so. So vision boards and like manifesting, I'm not gonna lie, are I think really great things to be doing to like get ahead in life. And also with that, in a sense, because manifesting and vision boards is essentially just goal setting, but with a bit of like identity shifting, mindset shifting, and like visualization part within it as well. It's not just like, let me wave my sage bundle and light my rose crystal candle and like chant some symbols and stuff. Like it can be that for some people, but the root of it is not that, you know what I mean? So I've used manifesting a lot to like help me achieve stuff, and so I'd really recommend that too. So yeah, so that's a side tangent. Anyway, back on track. So if you have your like main goal for the next year, so because my channel is more like academically focused in terms of productivity, let's say all A stars for A levels, but say for example if you're going to the gym and you want to attain this like certain physique, or say you want to start a business, or you want to start a social media account and have this much income, this many followings, you have that main goal, and then you break it down into actionable steps. So hopefully you've heard of the term SMART goals, but that's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time. Okay, it's probably not. What does A stand for? I will have to double check what the A stands for in SMART goals. But essentially making your goals like that allows you to take actual action and to not feel like you're frozen at this obstacle, and then because of that friction you don't actually do anything about it, you know? And that's something that I know I need to work on 100%. Like, I know that I'm like giving you guys advice and stuff, but I'm also taking that onto myself and trying to improve myself as well. Don't worry, I'm not like talking to you guys like I'm god level and I'm talking to you guys like you're noob level. I would say I'm probably like, what are the different levels? I'm like pro, but I'm not god and I'm not hacker yet. I'm not hacker level yet, guys. So breaking down your big goal into the smaller chunks, and then giving that sort of time frame. Like, if you are like really serious about something, you could break it down into, what do I want to accomplish each month, or what do I want to accomplish each week? Like, what steps do I need to do in order to work towards this goal? And it's important to also focus on systems rather than output. So say, for example, I'm like, I want to grow my YouTube subscriber count. I have no control over that. I have no control over how much people like my videos, how much people like watching me. All I can control is my systems and like, oh wait, no, you control your output but not the results. Sorry. You control your output, not your results. So I can control kind of like, let's say about like 80-90% of the time, how many videos I am producing and what quality, what length they are. But I can't control, again, how well people will really like respond to it. So therefore, my goal would be, if I'm posting a video every week with captions or with like a fun ending to it, I can control that. And so that is what I'm going to set my goal as. Whereas saying I want to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I can't control that. So that's less good to set your goal as. And also because it's so demotivating if, say for example, you're experiencing no growth, and that doesn't make any of your action useless, because I'm sure that you learn so much from that journey anyway. But because you're not seeing those results as exactly what you want it to be, it's quite demotivating. But you don't even know, because you know that saying, it's like 99% of gamblers quit before they hit big. Like, you could be there with the diamonds right behind, like one more hit with the pickaxe, but you wouldn't go, because you wouldn't like take the last hit, because you give up, because your motivation stems from the results rather than the inputs that you're giving it and the systems that you've built up. So this was a whole tangent, but essentially have your goals based off of what you can control rather than what the world is giving you, because you don't want to be there with your pickaxe. Diamonds are literally like one more step away and then you give up because you're demotivated and you think that you're not having any impact, or there's nothing that's like changing, but there is. But yeah, sorry, that was a huge tangent, but back to like the biggest goal. So say for example you want to improve in a subject, how are you going to do that? So say for example every week you want to review 30 flashcards in like French vocabulary. If you're quite bad at French writing, you want to sort of quantify it. I think that's the best way of sort of keeping on track of like goals and forming habits, by reducing how vague your progress is, you know, rather than just saying I want to be more fluent in French for my GCSE. You say, actually I'm going to do one comprehension task, I'm going to learn 30 new words or review 30 flashcards a week and practice my speaking with a tutor. Boom. And so you do that, you keep track of when you've done it so that you know you're keeping on track every week by doing your cross, or just sort of like documenting somewhere that you've done it and tick it off. And then I'm sure that your progress will be exponential. You'll get to your goals. So yeah, this was, okay, I've yapped for quite a bit, but this was hopefully a short, cute, quick little like what to do in the Christmas holidays, or what to do around this time if you feel like you're sort of falling behind and you just want a bit more guidance as to what you can do now because you're feeling slightly overwhelmed, or you're just a bit unsure of what you can be doing. But I think that's everything that I wanted to cover, really. Let me know any other videos that you want me to make and I will add it to the list. I need to do biology A-level, geography A-level, NEA, maybe EPQ, maybe chemistry level. But anyway, this is a whole load of yap. I hope again that you are doing really well and thriving, and I love you guys so much. Bye bye. Mwah.